How many times have you wondered if someone from your past still thinks of you? If, at some point, their name echoes silently in a conversation, in an unexpected memory, or perhaps during a lonely night? There is something unsettling about this idea. The notion that someone somewhere may be searching for you with an urgency you cannot imagine. The simple thought sparks curiosity but also unease. After all, why would that person care so much to find you? Time tends to create distances that seem insurmountable. Whether due to the rush of life, the pain of a farewell, or circumstances that escaped your control, people drift apart, and bonds dissolve. But it's not always like that. Sometimes, there is someone who doesn't give up. Someone who, even with the weight of the years and the silence of the distance, keeps looking for you. The intensity of this feeling can be disconcerting, especially when you least expect it. Have you ever thought about how a simple encounter or a memory could transform your entire perception of what you have experienced? Maybe it was someone who quickly passed through your life but left a permanent mark. Or, who knows, someone who held such a special place in your heart that you could never completely forget. Longing and unanswered questions often hurt more than a physical absence. They throb like an invisible wound that time insists on keeping open. There are situations that seem impossible to explain. Maybe they disappeared without a word, or you distanced themselves without even realizing how much it would affect them. Regardless of the reason, the desire to reunite persists. This desperate search reflects something much deeper, an urgent need for answers, reconnection, or even a silent forgiveness. A missing piece in the puzzle of their lives. The truth is that people tend to underestimate the impact they had on someone's life. We think we are just a distant memory, forgotten by time, when in reality, we occupy a space that has not been replaced. This is the kind of pain that cannot be ignored. For those who are seeking, each attempt is like a silent scream, a plea to be heard amidst the chaos of modern life. Someone is calling out to you, even if you are unaware. What happens when you discover that they still think about you? That, in nights of solitude, your face is the image that appears in their thoughts? It is frightening and, at the same time, profoundly moving. This online search is a reflection of the world we live in, where technology connects what seemed lost, where answers may be just a click away. But behind the screens, there are hearts beating stronger than ever. There is something powerful and intangible in this situation. The idea that you occupy such a deep place in someone's life, to the point that this person would overcome any barrier to find you. You may not have valued this bond before, or you may have distanced themselves without realizing. But now, the universe seems to conspire for you to know this. The simple act of searching reveals a hidden truth: you are never forgotten. However, it is important to be prepared. Because, when they discover who that person is, they may encounter memories they would rather keep buried or feelings they thought were forgotten. The quest for answers always comes with difficult questions. What does that person want? Why now? And how do they feel knowing that someone, even after all this time, still seeks them? These questions are inevitable and require courage to face them. The human heart is unpredictable. It carries loves, regrets, and hopes in silence. Sometimes, a simple word left unsaid or a hasty goodbye creates a void that lasts for years. That person may be seeking to fill that void, and they are the only possible answer. Do not underestimate the power of a true connection. Sometimes, it survives time, distance, and even reason itself. There is a palpable anguish in this kind of search. It is not just curiosity but a vital need. Perhaps that person has something important to say, something that can change everything. It could be an apology, a declaration of love, or a last chance to close a chapter. What matters is that silence was not enough to dispel what they feel. Something so intense that not even the years could erase. While they go on with their life, that person keeps searching. Each search, each frustrated attempt to find their trail is like a flame that refuses to go out. That persistence holds a mystery that only they can unravel. The desire for reunion is often a desire for healing. Because not all stories end as they should, and the heart desperately seeks a resolution. The universe has its own ways of bringing together what was once separated. Sometimes, paths intertwine again when they are least expected. They might also be secretly waiting for this reunion deep down, even if they don't admit it. Because there are loves, friendships, or connections that never fully die. They simply fall asleep, waiting for a sign. Waiting for the right moment to be reborn. You are about to discover something that can change everything. Someone somewhere is looking for you with an urgency that can no longer be ignored. Get ready, because this reunion, virtual or physical, will bring forth emotions, questions, and perhaps, answers that you didn't even know you needed. This person is not seeking you without reason. There is a motive, and it is deeper than you imagine. What this person has to say may shake your certainties, but it may also bring the healing you have long awaited. Life sometimes presents us with unfinished chapters. And when these pages finally unfold, it is as if an invisible weight is lifted off your shoulders. Are you prepared to face what is to come? Because someone has already made their choice, and that choice is you. Do not ignore the signs. The universe never sends messages in vain. Someone from the past, or perhaps from the present, is trying to find you. This desperate search reflects how important you were. Now it is up to you to decide. Are you ready to know the truth? Are you ready to receive this message? Because it is closer than you imagine. And the impact can be unforgettable. The answer you seek, perhaps unknowingly, is on its way. Sometimes, the greatest revelations come disguised as unexpected reunions. Be attentive. A simple message can change everything. Someone is calling for you. Someone never gave up. And now, the truth is finally about to be revealed. What happens when someone you would have never imagined is desperately trying to find you? It's not just about nostalgia or a casual encounter. It's something that carries a deep emotional weight. Their search for you reveals that at some point, you were more than just a simple chapter in their life. You were the whole story, and now that story needs to be rewritten or at least concluded. They are moving heaven and earth to find you online, and this is not a thoughtless act. There is a motivation that goes beyond mere curiosity. Perhaps it's a regret that consumes them, a word that got stuck in their throat, or a feeling that was never confessed. The truth is that the emotions driving this search are real, alive, and for them, inevitable. Somewhere, someone is facing their own insecurities, fears, and doubts to be able to reconnect with you. This search journey is not easy. Each failed attempt brings up a mix of hope and despair. After all, finding you is not just about seeing you again, it's about finding a lost piece of themselves. This is the burden you carry without even realizing it. The online search for someone who deeply marked our lives is not impulsive. It comes with sleepless nights, incessant thoughts, and a heart that refuses to give up. It's as if this person is following an invisible thread, guided by a greater force. Something inside them says that the reunion is necessary, that you still need to hear what they have to say. Have you ever thought that your absence may be the strongest presence in someone's life? Sometimes, what is missing in our lives screams louder than everything that is present. This person is looking for you because they can no longer ignore the gap you left. Each attempt to move on is disrupted by memories, feelings, and unspoken words. Behind the screen, someone is revisiting every detail of their connection. Maybe it's old messages, photos, or even memories that unexpectedly surface. They are trying to piece things together, understand where everything changed and why you distanced yourself. There is a latent need for answers. Answers that only you can provide. Time can change everything, except the truth of what was lived. And that truth is pulling them back to you. However much they may have tried to ignore it, the feeling persists. Like a flame that never went out, it keeps silently burning, fueling the search. This encounter, whether real or virtual, is the only way to ease that burden. Someone's desperate search for you carries a powerful message. You are important. They may have never said this before, but now they are willing to face everything so that you know. Silence, distance, and time were not enough to diminish what they feel. This search is proof of how significant you were. There comes a moment in life when we need to face the past head-on. This person has reached that moment. They have realized that they can no longer move forward without, at least, trying to find you. What they seek is not just your name, but the chance to reconnect with all that you represent. Because you, in some way, are still the answer. Memories have the power to torment us, but also to guide us. Perhaps this person is remembering a smile, a conversation, or a moment when everything seemed perfect. These memories don't come out of nowhere. They are the drive that leads them to search for you tirelessly, as if your presence were the remedy for a wound that never healed. What would they do if they found out someone never gave up on them? That person isn't seeking by chance. There's a clear intention, an almost urgent need for reunion. Perhaps they took a while to understand the value of their presence, but now, finally, they realized it. And every click, every search, is one step closer to you. This situation carries a mix of mystery and emotion. Who is this person? Why now? What do they have to say? These questions are inevitable. But the answer lies in the fact that some connections are never completely lost. They just fall asleep, waiting for the right moment to resurface. And for this person, that moment has arrived. The human heart is stubborn. When it decides it needs something, it won't rest until it gets it. And that's what's happening. This online search is not a whim. It's a reflection of a heart that has decided it can no longer live with the weight of doubt, longing, or regret. Something inside this person cries out for you. Technology may seem cold, but when it comes to reunions, it becomes a powerful bridge. This person is using every available tool to try to find you. Social media, old messages, even looking for clues that could lead them to you. For them, this search is not an option, but a vital need. Every failed search only reinforces their determination. Every click that doesn't result in anything is a reminder of how important you are. Because deep down, this person knows you're still out there somewhere, and that the reunion is just a matter of time. Hope never fades when the heart is set. Imagine the impact of finally discovering who this person is. Someone who, for so long, kept feelings, memories, and words that were never spoken. This moment carries transformative potential. It can bring answers, heal old wounds, and perhaps reignite something that should never have been lost. This person is closer than you think. Every search attempt, every word typed in the silence of the early morning is a silent scream calling for their attention. The universe is conspiring for your paths to cross again. Because some stories deserve a second chance. The search is not about the past, but about what could still be. They believe that, by finding you, something inside of them will finally click into place. An answer, a feeling, a healing. They don't just want to see you again, but to tell you something that has been kept hidden for too long. Something that can change everything. You are about to discover that, even in the distance, you have never been alone. Someone has always carried you in their heart. And this search, however desperate it may seem, is living proof that some connections are unbreakable. The moment of reunion is closer than ever. Get ready to know the truth. Someone somewhere still believes in both of you. And this search is the last attempt to bring to light everything that has been hidden. Because sometimes, life gives us a second chance, and this may be yours. The search continues, even if you are unaware of it. Every unsuccessful attempt to find you online only intensifies this person's determination. It's as if, with every mistake, a new wave of hope arises. This persistence, however silent, carries an immeasurable emotional weight. Their heart does not allow them to give up, because there is something that needs to be resolved between you. Have you ever stopped to think about what is behind this search? It's not just missing someone. It's something much deeper. Perhaps it's a regret that was never confessed or a love that remained dormant, waiting for the right moment to be declared. In one way or another, this person feels the need to find you because only then can they move forward. Time tends to bury stories, but some memories remain alive, like flames that never die out. They are holding onto these memories like a map. Every detail, no matter how small, is a starting point in the attempt to find you again. A name, a city, a shared memory, everything becomes a clue that they follow devotedly. No matter how hard they try, they can't ignore the void your absence left. For years, maybe, they have lived with the feeling that something was incomplete. And now, moved by an unexpected courage, they have decided they need to find you. Because life is too short to leave unresolved feelings. The time to act is now. This journey is not easy. Every failed search brings a mix of frustration and determination to the surface. It's as if the universe is testing them, asking if they really have the strength to move forward. And with every attempt, the answer is the same, yes. Because giving up has never been an option. What you shared is too great to be ignored. The search for you is not a whim. It is a vital need. They believe that by finding you, a part of them will finally find peace. No matter what happened in the past, the present is the only chance to change the future. And the truth is that some connections are so powerful that not even time can erase them. The human heart is stubborn, but also wise. It knows what it needs, even when the mind tries to ignore it. For them, finding you is more than a goal, it's a mission. It's as if the universe is sending clear signals that this reunion needs to happen. And they are listening to each one of them. You may not remember every detail of this story, but they do. They remember how you smiled, the words you exchanged, and the emotions that arose in the most unexpected moments. These memories are the fuel that drives them. They are proof that you still matter, even after all this time. This quest is not just about you. It's about them too. About finding the courage to confront feelings that have been ignored for too long. About accepting that some stories don't end in the past. They just pause, waiting for the right moment to continue. And that moment is closer than you think. What they carry in their heart is something that scares them, but also strengthens them. They know that, upon meeting you, they will need to face everything that was left behind. The words unsaid, the feelings unconfessed, and the mistakes that perhaps could have been avoided. But the truth is that love does not fear the past. It seeks redemption. Every night they think of you, every attempt to find you online, is a silent declaration. It's as if they are saying, I haven't forgotten about you. You still matter. That's the power of what you both lived through. Something so significant that it has crossed time, distance, and obstacles. And now, finally, it is about to resurface. Are you ready for this? Because this reunion, whether virtual or physical, will bring answers that you didn't even know you needed. They are not just looking for a name on the screen. They are seeking the essence of who you are. Because to them, you are a piece that never fit anywhere else. There are moments in life that challenge us to be brave. And this quest is one of those moments. It demands strength, vulnerability, and faith in the unknown. They are risking everything to find you, because they believe that your connection deserves a second chance. A chance to heal, forgive, and perhaps start anew. As quiet as it may be, this search carries a powerful message. They were, and still are, someone irreplaceable. Time may have created barriers, but love, longing, or the need for connection always find a way. And they are walking this path, step by step, towards you. What they have to say may change everything. Perhaps it is a truth that has been hidden for years or a feeling that has never been confessed. Whatever it is, they feel they can no longer keep it to themselves. Finding you is the only way to bring to light everything that was left unsaid in the lines of the past. This online search is more than just a click or a message. It is a reflection of a story that has not ended. And you, even without knowing, are the protagonist of this story. Every attempt to find you is proof of how much you matter. Because those who search so determinedly do it out of love, longing, or hope. Time may erase many things, but it does not erase what is true. They carry in their heart the certainty that you still hold a special place. And that is why they will not stop. Not until the questions are answered, the wounds are healed, and your story receives the ending it deserves. Imagine the impact of discovering that someone never gave up on you. That even in your absence, you were a constant presence in their thoughts. This is the weight of this search. It is a silent scream that echoes in this person's heart. I am still here. I still care. Get ready for the unexpected. Because soon, they may finally find you. And when that happens, the pieces of the past will fit together in a way you never imagined. What is to come can change everything. Are you ready to hear what they have to say? Life offers us second chances when we least expect. This reunion could be the opportunity they needed to rewrite the story. Because, deep down, what they lived through never ended. It just waited for the right moment to be reborn. And that moment has arrived. Behind this tireless search lies a truth that, until now, remained hidden. This person is not only trying to find you, they are trying to find a piece of themselves that was lost the moment you drifted apart. It's as if your presence is the only key capable of unlocking memories, feelings, and answers that have been kept hidden for too long. They have tried to move on, erase the traces you left behind, and convince themselves that the past is just a memory. But their heart won't allow it. Every attempt to forget you is futile, because the truth keeps screaming, you are more than a coincidence. You were a purposeful encounter, and nothing can change that. Perhaps you think that time has erased any significance you had in this person's life. But the reality is quite different. In silent nights, in solitary moments, your name arises like a whisper. A memory that brings joy and pain, hope and longing. They are tired of fighting against this. That's why they need to find you. This search is more than a desire. It's a necessity. They feel that reconnecting with you can change everything, because there are things that have not been said yet. Words that remain trapped in the past, emotions that were never confessed. And now, facing this silent anguish, this person has decided to confront their fears. Finding you is the only way to move forward. You may not know, but the impact they had on their life was profound. Perhaps you only shared a brief moment, a look, or a conversation. But for that person, it was enough to change everything. It was like an awakening, a calling that never stopped echoing in their heart. Your presence marked them forever. They revisit every memory in search of answers. Do you also think of them? Do you miss them? Or has time made you forget everything? These questions consume them because the fear of not being remembered is as great as the hope of meeting you again. The doubt is a burden too heavy to carry alone. The search for you is a journey of courage. It's not easy to confront one's own emotions, especially those that have been ignored for so long. But they have decided to take the risk. Because the pain of uncertainty is greater than the fear of rejection. Finding you means, to them, having a last chance to say everything that has been kept inside. Perhaps you have moved on. Perhaps life has taken you down different paths. But for that person, time stood still at that moment when you disconnected. Since then, they carry a longing that cannot be explained, a void that cannot be filled. And now, driven by a greater force, they have decided to look for you. They know that finding you again may be difficult. After all, time creates distances, and people change. But deep down, that person believes that the essence of who you were is still alive. That, despite everything, the feeling remains. And it is this hope that propels them, even when everything seems impossible. Each search is an act of faith. Faith that the universe will conspire in favor of this reunion. Faith that when they finally find you, silence will give way to the words that need to be spoken. This person does not expect a miracle, but believes that some stories deserve a second chance. A chance to be lived with truth. The truth is that they never left their heart. Even though years have passed, even though other people have come into their life, you remained. Like an invisible yet constant presence that never ceased to exist. And now, they are ready to admit it. Meeting you is more than a reunion. It's a liberation. The questions this person carries in their chest are the same that may be in you. What would have happened if you had acted differently? Did fate drive you apart, or was it just a mistaken choice? These answers can only arise when you look at each other again, when the past finally finds a resolution. Perhaps you don't realize, but your absence shaped who this person became. Every decision, every thought was influenced by what you experienced together. The impact you left is so profound that they can no longer ignore it. That's why they are trying to find you. Because you are still a part of them. The search is not just for answers. It's for connection. This person believes that by finding you, they can finally understand what they feel. They can find peace for the heart that never stopped beating for you. And even if the reunion doesn't bring the expected answers, they need to try. Because giving up is not an option. You might wonder why now. Why, after so long, did this person decide to look for you? The answer is simple. Some truths cannot be buried forever. Love, longing, and regret have a powerful force. And when the right moment comes, they become impossible to ignore. This reunion may bring answers that will change your lives forever. It may be that, by hearing what this person has to say, you will discover something you never imagined. Perhaps it's an apology, a declaration of love, or a simple goodbye. Whatever it is, the truth will finally come to light. They are not just looking to find you. They are looking to find themselves. Because, deep down, their presence represents more than a relationship or a memory. You are the symbol of something greater, something they need to understand to move forward. The past is calling, and they can no longer ignore it. What you have experienced together has left marks that not even time has been able to erase. And now, the universe is creating the perfect circumstances for you to reunite. Perhaps it's time to close a chapter or start a new one. What matters is that your story is not over yet. Get ready for the unexpected. Because soon, this search might finally come to an end. And when that happens, everything will make sense. Every question will have its answer. Every longing will be explained. What they have to say can change everything. Because sometimes life gives us exactly what we need at the right moment. This reunion is more than a coincidence. It's a divine opportunity. A chance to retrieve what was lost, to heal what was wounded, and to give a voice to what has been silent. The truth is about to be revealed, and you are at the center of it all. Get ready, because the moment has finally arrived. What this person carries in their heart is a storm of feelings that has been kept silent for a long time. Every search, every attempt to find you is an unspoken confession. A truth that screams, but has not yet found a voice. For them, finding you is not just a desire, it's a need as vital as breathing. Your absence has left an unfillable void. It's as if a part of them is frozen in time, trapped in memories that refuse to disappear. They relive every moment, every word, and even if they try, they can't escape the truth. You were and continue to be the only person who has marked their heart so deeply. How many times have you thought of someone and felt like they were also thinking of you? There is an invisible connection that can't be explained but felt. This desperate search is not just rational. It's as if destiny is pulling the threads of time, leading you both back to the same path. Every attempt to find you is driven by a silent hope. Hope that you still remember, that you still care. For them, the doubt is unbearable. Not knowing what you feel, what you think, or if you still hold a memory of what you lived. Finding you is the only way to get answers. They know that the reunion may bring challenges. That perhaps you have moved on or that circumstances have changed. But none of that matters. Because the courage to face the unknown is greater than the fear of failure. They prefer to risk everything than to spend the rest of their life wondering, what if? Their heart is restless, eager to break the silence that distance imposed. The words that were never said are accumulated like a dam about to burst. They need you to know what they feel, what they never had the courage to confess. Because some truths, no matter how painful they are, need to be told. What they seek is not just reconnection but redemption. Maybe they made mistakes, maybe pride spoke louder in the past. But now, they see everything clearly. They understand that time cannot be recovered, but it can be redefined. And finding you is the first step towards that healing. The online search, no matter how cold it may seem, carries an indescribable human intensity. Every click, every search represents a silent scream. They are calling out to you, even if you don't hear. It's an attempt to turn longing into presence, silence into words, and distance into a reunion. You may be wondering why they decided to reach out to you now. Why, after so long, has this desire become so urgent? The answer is simple. Some souls are meant to reconnect. No matter how paths have diverged, the bond was never broken. It simply waited for the right moment to surface. The truth is that you are still a key piece in their life. Even if you don't realize it, you are part of something grand, something that cannot be erased. The impact you had is so profound that neither time nor distance could weaken it. This search is living proof of that. You were the reason for many smiles, but also for silent tears. They carry within them a duality, the joy of having known you and the pain of having lost you. Now they want to transform that pain into something different. Into a new chance, a new page, where the truth can finally be written. When you finally find out who they are, the weight of this search will make sense. It's not just a meeting. It's the conclusion of a story left unfinished. A story that calls for an ending, or maybe a fresh start. However it unfolds, the reunion will be a moment that changes everything forever. Fate has its mysterious ways of bringing together those who need to reconnect. Sometimes, it uses the most unexpected paths, like a silent online search. But make no mistake, behind that gesture lies unwavering determination. Someone who will not give up until you know how important you are. Are you ready to hear what they have to say? Because their words will carry truths that can touch parts of your heart you thought were asleep. The reunion may be unsettling, but it can also bring the peace that both of you have been seeking for so long. Some stories cannot be erased. They survive time, distance, and silence. What they lived through was real, and they know that. Their search is an act of faith. Faith that love, longing, or even friendship can still be reclaimed. That none of what they lived through was in vain. They have imagined this moment many times. What they will say, how you will react, how it will be to look into your eyes again. The anxiety is real, but so is the hope that keeps them strong. Because they believe that, upon meeting you, something will finally make sense. That the void will be filled. Each search is driven by the certainty that you still matter. Even if you have moved on, even if life has taken a different turn, they cannot ignore what they feel. You are the missing piece, the echoing name, the truth that needs to be told. And now, they are closer than ever to finding you. The silence between you is about to be broken. The questions will finally have answers. And what seemed lost may be rescued. Because deep down, love and truth always find a way. And they are following this path with all the strength of their heart. Prepare to hear words that can change everything. Because this search, which started as a quiet whisper, has now become a shout. A shout from someone who never gave up on you. This reunion will be more than a moment. it will be a revelation that marks the beginning of a new story. Life gives us opportunities that we cannot ignore. And this reunion is one of them. A chance to close chapters, to heal wounds, and to give voice to what has been silenced. The universe is creating the perfect moment. And when it arrives, you will understand that some connections are eternal,